Hi, I am super excited because I just got this working. What I'm trying to do is stream over postMessage because I am trying to get the IPFS postMessage proxy to not have to buffer content for when people are using the streaming APIs. So I've been looking into how I might stream data over postMessage, and I just got this working, so I wanted to show you what it is. If I navigate to here, we have got, if it loads, we have got two windows here. On the left-hand side is a kind of the main window, and in that window it has an iframe, and the iframe is stuck on the right-hand side. And what's happening here is that the main window is pulling data out of the iframe. And as you can see on the right-hand side, the iframe it gets a pull request, and then it has an artificial delay of some random amount of time before responding with a chunk of data. It's just a string, a random string. And what happens is it responds with the random string, and then the main window logs out that it had pulled that string, and eventually, when everything's done, it prints out drained. And then we can do that. We can reload that, and it's a random amount of data, random times, but it demonstrates pulling data over postMessage, which is kind of fun. Let's have a quick look at some code. Right, so we have got here, right, so this is main.js, so this is running in the main window. And what first needs to happen from the iframe is the iframe needs to tell the main window what the name of the function it can call, because we're using something called postMessage RPC, which is a module which allows you to set up functions that you can call to communicate over postMessage. So what happens is the iframe basically sends a message to say the function that you can call to read data from me is called this, and that is where we. So what the main window is doing is it's attaching an event listener for message, and when it gets that message, we can start pulling data from the iframe. So source is just this module, and it sets up a source that can be pulled from, and we give it the read function name that we were told, so the source knows where it can get its data from. And then all we're doing is we're using pull.drain to drain the source of all the data. And so what pull.drain does is for every chunk of data that comes through, I get a callback here, and I'm just logging out that I got something, and then when everything is done and dusted, it calls this function, and so yeah, we can see that it prints out drained when it's all done. So that's fun times. In the iframe, so this is the source of the data. What we're doing is we're generating that read function name, and the first thing we do is kind of post off that read function name to its parent to say this is where you can get data from. But we set up a pull stream here. We set up a sync on the iframe side. So the sync will request, so this is sort of, you can look at pull streams as kind of starting from the bottom and asking for things from the bottom upwards. So the sync will pull stuff from the stream before, which will pull stuff from the stream before, and they're all kind of linked together in a pipeline. So all that's happening here is that what the sync's going to do is it's going to pull out of this stream, and what this one is doing is it maps a bunch of random data and sets a timeout and responds after a little while. So yeah, and then pull.values just creates some random data that can be sent over the postMessage API. So yeah, that's kind of fun, and it works. Hooray!